Unit 3. Listening Focus. Activity 5.
I've always been interested in making lots of money, and I always believed I'd be successful. My father was very proud that I'd been to university, the first in my family to do so, and I think he hoped I'd become a banker or a lawyer, and not a fruit seller like him. But instead, I saw an opportunity to make money from sports shoes, which were becoming fashionable in the early 1980s, and, from a humble start on a market stall, my business grew rapidly. I took a lot of risks and faced an uncertain future, especially as the economic situation wasn't good at that time. But somehow, I still knew things would work out. The company kept growing. By 1990, I had 120 shops, and just before I sold the business in 1998, this figure had grown to 250, with over 7,000 employees. I made £268 million from the sale, and obviously, I'd now made all the money I could ever need. I decided to take time out and enjoy myself. I spent loads of money on a yacht and luxury homes, but I didn't find this lifestyle satisfying. So, I decided to do something useful. I got interested in education and invested in training programs that taught children about business. I thought this would give them the opportunity to do what I'd done. After a while, I was bored and wanted to work again, but I didn't need any more money for myself, so I decided to give the money I made to charity. I visited Africa for the first time in 2004, and so I could offer business advice and financial support to farmers who were in difficulty. They were given small loans, which, in the vast majority of cases, they were able to pay back on time. I started thinking and realised that the £3,000 I would spend on a suit was a fortune to most people. Even £100 could make a huge difference to someone. It was a chance to get out of poverty. So, about 5 years ago, I started lending small amounts of money to people all over the world who had nothing and who wanted to start their own business. Recently, I've been involved in projects that help village communities in Africa to help themselves. We've been able to build new schools, improve access to water, and invest in farm machinery. The first of these projects to be completed was a hospital in a small town in Malawi. Seeing that finished and operational was the most satisfying experience of my life, far more important to me than any business deal. I feel very privileged to be able to help people in this way. I think it's taught me what's really important in life. Now I appreciate my family so much more, and I'm not as interested as I used to be in holidays or expensive clothes. But in order to finance these projects, I need to spend about 70% of my time working. Now I'm mainly involved in property companies, and it's the money I make from these that I spend on development projects in Africa. I would advise anyone who's earning millions to give most of it away. Initially, I was only interested in the security money could bring, but now it means something else to me. It means freedom to do what I want with my life. I'm much happier now than I was 20 years ago. I do understand that not having enough money can be very worrying, but it's important to realise there's a limit to how much you actually need for yourself. People often ask me how much money I intend to give away. I don't know the answer to that exactly, but what I do know is that I wouldn't feel right if I ended up leaving a lot of money to my kids. I don't think a yacht or a Ferrari would bring them happiness. I'll make sure they have enough to buy a house, but I want them to work and earn their own money. It's important to be independent.